Hi everybody, welcome to Granny J Clay. This is Joni. What I plan to do today is to make a sheet. Let me see. I've got some nice big stamps here, or texture sheets, I guess. Not stamps, but they're kind of a stamp. And I wanted to show you what I've got. This one looks like branches of trees, which I really, really like. I rolled out some white, and this white is Sculpey 3 mixed with Super Sculpey, which is a beige color, and I showed you that the other day. And it helps me to extend my white clay. And so it's not an absolutely perfect white, but it's perfect enough. I just noticed I have a little something here. Let me just kind of get that off. There we go. Okay. The one thing about white is you see everything, but once you use a texture stamp, you won't really see much of anything. But if I would roll out some, or rub some ink on this and press it on here, all you would see would be white for the branches because they are recessed. So we would see white branches. I think that would be really pretty. Here's another one. Now I'm picking some of my bigger texture sheets, but as you can probably tell, this has got some flowering, I don't know what they are, but little flowers sort of with little tiny leaves on it. That's really pretty too. Here's one that's a little oddball, isn't it? This one, I think I took this off a wooden block, but this is really pretty. But the thing it is, you have to remember is you won't see this whole stamp all in one piece. I'm going to make more birds today. And so you won't see all of it. You'll just see bits and pieces of it, and it wouldn't take up that whole area of clay either. So that's out. Here's another stamp. I love this one. This is beautiful. And if you make one pendant and use this, like a part of it maybe, it's just so pretty. But this isn't big enough for that piece of clay either. By the way, this is leftover clay from what I have been doing lately with the hearts, etc. Here's another one I love. This has flowers in it. Isn't that pretty? And the grass is down here, and the flowers growing up here. But that wouldn't do either. So I'll put that aside. Here's another one I really like. I've used this already for birds. Really like this because it comes up quite a bit. And so when I put the ink on it, it's easy to hit these swirls and curls, but again, not big enough. Here's another one, and this isn't big enough either, but this is another one of my favorites. I just love it. But that's not large enough either. So I think I'll go back to both of these and just kind of see what I want to maybe do. I'm thinking I want to do this one with the branches. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. So let's put all these others aside. Can you tell I haven't talked much? My voice is kind of going in and out. Don't know what the deal is with my voice lately, but it wants to go in and out. Now, it won't take up the whole thing, but it's bigger than some of the other ones, which is great. So what I'm going to do is I will move this aside, this piece aside for now, just set it over here. And I'm going to show you how I ink up, it's not a big secret, how I ink something up like this. This has still the blue pad on it that I used for my other birds that I showed you earlier today in that video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just peel this off like that. And you can buy these together with the stamp. So I'm going to peel that off and put it somewhere so it doesn't get anything else dirty. Put it up over here. And it's fairly dry, so it didn't get my hands dirty. Then I'm going to pull out a blank piece. They come, let's see, these are Ranger products. They come like this, and then you buy this, the stamping part. This is Jim Holtz, I think it says. Anyway. And then you buy these, and this is what you do. And I'll show you. So it has a part that will stick onto this. This is like a Velcro, piece of Velcro. It doesn't fit it perfectly, but almost perfectly. So all I do is I lay it down, and then I line up, as best I can, I line up the stamp and press it on. So that's good enough. Make sure it's on. And this is kind of foam. It's like a little piece of foam. Now I'm going to pick what I want to put. And I think I might go with a blue background. I like blues. This is teal. Not sure which one I used before, but I think I'm going to use the teal. Yeah, I might have used that before because I kind of lean toward this one. And then I'm going to open it up, bring this up here, and I'm just going to press. And it doesn't get a lot on it at first. You just have to keep going. Or you can lift it up like this, and you can just stamp, which works pretty well. Yeah. All right, then I'm just going to start. Since I don't know where I'm going to be, I'm just going to start to put it on. Obviously, you're going to have to go back. You can see it's starting, but you're going to have to go back and pick up more ink as you go. Oops, yeah, and that happens sometimes, so just go back and get it. Okay. But I do try to just kind of lightly rub on the top. But sometimes I get heavy-handed. You know what I mean? Boy, we have a beautiful snow today. It's so beautiful. It's so strange, though, because today yesterday we woke up to, I think it was in the low 50s. Today it's not in the low 50s. I don't know. And I think most people are getting this kind of weather, you know, where you're not really sure what to expect the next day. This looks like Christmas snow to me. All right. And you can use different degrees of shading with this. But I usually do the whole thing because I'm not ever sure where the clay is going to land. So, and you don't need it too dark. Dark enough, but not so dark. Okay. I'm going to kind of rub it. And when you do that, hold on to this so it doesn't move. You want to kind of make sure you're not going too hard to get down into the recessed areas, but it never fails. I get in there. And it's not that big a deal. Sometimes I sand off that area after they come out of the oven, or even before they go into the oven. I use a little bit of rubbing alcohol with a Q-tip to take it off, and sometimes I just leave it on and call it a day. So as you can see, here and there, it's getting a little darker. I hope you can see it. There you go. So I used to order a lot of texture stamps, but I don't do that really too much at all anymore because I got so many now. But they sure are fun. And this is kind of thick. This one's thick, so I would not run it through my pasta machine. I would ruin my pasta machine, I think. Okay, I think I've got different levels of color here. But I want to make sure I've got enough. Okay. Let's see. Let's just see how this works. And then I'm going to set this right back. I have that little package, and then, oops, not that one. The package that this stamp came in, and I just lay it back in there for now in case I need it again. But I tend to get things everywhere, whether it's ink or Pearl-Ex powder or whatever. So I need to get it out of my way. All right, now I'm going to bring in my sheet of clay, and I'm just going to lay it over here like that. And then I'm going to take a piece of patty paper, and I'm going to do this. Just rub over it a little bit, like that. Okay. I just thought I'd let you know my husband is doing well. We're just waiting to have him have his surgery on the 3rd of March. But it's always on our mind. I think you know what that is like, Emma. You know, our friend Emma, who does beading, she's in the waiting pattern right now too, but we'll get there for me and for him. It's just a day-by-day thing. We have to, and it can be stressful. I have to admit that. I think when you're waiting for something to happen and waiting to find something out, it can be kind of stressful, and we recognize that, and when we get a little short with each other, we have to apologize, that's for sure, and recognize where that's all coming from. And now I'm going to see how good this is. So what I'm going to do is take this off and very carefully put my hand over the top of it, and I'm going to turn it over like that, and I'm just going to peel it up, and we'll see what we've got. Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, that's lovely. Oh, you guys, I'm going to really like this one. I think I'll have to do another one of these. Oh, that's pretty. Can you see that? Let's see if I get the light over there a little bit further. Here. Put it there. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. So what I do now is I will lay this aside, and what I do is take it to the kitchen, lay it in the sink, and I just use plain old dishwashing soap. Well, it's Dawn dishwashing soap. And I have a special scrubber that I scrub it with. And they clean up so nicely. It's amazing how nicely they clean up. Oh, I love this. This is just yummy. So let's see if I can come back this way. Now what I usually do is try to trim this off, save it for something else. But you see how I got some on here? I don't care. But I don't want that in. I'll let it just be in the white because it is. I could clean it off with alcohol ink. Alcohol, rubbing alcohol. But I'll just take that off. Take this one off up here. So put all that clay aside, and this is the clay I'm going to use. Okay. Now I see I still have that mark up here of ink. And this is on my thickest setting, which is a 0 for me on my Atlas 180. And so, oh, that's pretty. Oh my goodness, I really like that. Okay, I'm going to take these off. My gloves off a little bit here. Okay, now we're ready to put my birds on it. What I did with this set is I took my birds and stamped them, or pressed them into the ink pad so I could still have that black line. This time I'm going to cut them out completely. And I want to show you something that Patricia Roberts Thompson, I think is her name. She's not doing videos anymore. I have learned so much from her. You'll have to look her up. She is so good. She really, I think she's an art teacher by trade, or was, maybe. I'm not sure. Anyway, she took her, well, it's a sock. It's an old sock of my husband's, yes. And in here, I cut it off, and in here is some cornstarch. And then I put a rubber band around it. And so when you need cornstarch on something, oh, that's my phone. Let me turn that down here a little bit. when you need cornstarch on something, all you need to do is take that, sorry, I had to turn my phone down. Take this little bag and then dab, dab, dab on it. So what I'm going to do, since I already have done that, and there's cornstarch on the outside of this, I think what I'm going to do is just dab my bird cutters on here. See? And it gets some around the edges so that it will release quite easily. Hopefully. We'll see. So I'm going to put that. I try to get as much as I possibly can out of a sheet of clay. Okay, so that looks like it's set well. I'm going to get a smaller piece of acrylic. Let's see here. This one's too big. I don't really care to work with a great big one if I'm working with little pieces. This is kind of a nice little size. Here's another size. I might use that one. And I'm just going to stand up here and I'm going to push it down evenly. Okay. And then I'm going to pull it up. And it looks like it cut that well. Now you're going to see, I just blew it off, but you could see some cornstarch there. So I'm going to pull this up and you can see there's the bird right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tile to the side of me. So here's one of my tiles. And I'm going to put a piece of patty paper on the tile. So here's my patty paper. And so it's just sitting right beside me off to the side of my glass working board here. And when I get one off, I like to take them off as I cut them, simply because I don't want the clay to push into the next bird. You know how it can do that sometimes. So I'm going to take it up with this. See, cute? He still has a little bit of cornstarch on him, but I can brush that off later. And I just set him over here, like this. And then I'll put more birds over there as I cut them. And what I want to do is bring this back so you can watch me. What have you guys been up to? How's your weather? I know there's people from all over that haven't had snow or haven't had much snow, and then all of a sudden they're getting a lot of snow. All right, let's see here. Now, the branches run up and down, but you could have it this way, where the bird is sitting on a branch too. That'd be kind of pretty. But for this one, I think I'll put this one right here. That's a little bit lighter. I have to dip it in the cornstarch here a little bit. Yeah. And I get up as close as I can there. And I am going to use this bigger one. I think it's just easier to hold on to. It's not that much bigger. But then you just get an even push, you know? And I always try to make sure I get another push. So there's my another one. My another one. And here come the doggies from being outside. They go crazy. They just go crazy. So now I've got two. Two cute little birds. I'll come back here and oh, I love this bird. This is the cutest little bird here. I'll show you it when I get done. I think I've shown it to you in my other birds. This one. It's this one. So pretty. But you know, birds don't go out of season. There's not a season. You can wear birds all the time. These make cute little pins. I've got some little pins I can glue onto the back of these if I want to use them as a pin or a charm. You know, I can use it as a charm as well. Oh, his little beak wanted to come up. Okay. As a charm for a purse. Okay. Let's see. So we've done this one and this one and this one. And let's do another bigger one that goes the other way. Press it down. My husband spoke to his mom on the phone this morning, but she's up in Minnesota, and she lives in an assisted living place, but she does not know She doesn't know him. It's sad, but he just sits and listens to her. She talks. Sometimes when they've set up their call, she doesn't say anything. So he tries to talk to her, but she doesn't hear well, and she can't see well, and it's a video talk. So he just, the gal that helps her, she just lets him watch his mom for a while, and she talks about her siblings and nonsensical things as well, but at least he gets to see her. That's just hard. I remember that well with my mom, how hard it is not to be able to go see them. Okay. Let's see. Put him up here. Push it in a little bit. Okay. He has a sister that lives up in that area. Thankfully, she does go over and see his mom, and then kind of reports into everybody. Aren't those pretty? I'll show you the whole sheet over here when I get done. But I have to go back and kind of take down the fringe. You know, when you cut things out, sometimes it leaves a little bit fringe of clay. Look at these terrible thumbs. Ugh. Anyway. So I need to go back and clean them up a little bit, but I'll do that later so you don't have to bear with all that. Okay. I think I'll go back with this one right here. My husband has 2 sisters and a brother. He used to have 2 brothers, but oh my, many years ago, when our oldest son, who is now 50, was just a baby, his brother David was killed in an airplane accident. Oh, that was awful. On December 1st, I'll never forget it. It was just awful. He had joined the Navy, and he had gone back to a friend's house, and I think it was North Carolina, either North or South Carolina. Flew home on an airplane with him to visit for Thanksgiving, and on their flight back home, their commercial plane, they were flying back out to California, but their plane crashed into a mountain. Oh boy, that was just devastating to everybody. And the young man who had taken him, David was Dan's brother. So the young man who had taken David home with him to spend Thanksgiving with them was going to get engaged to his fiancée, and did, evidently, when he was home. So I just can't even imagine how that hurt her, what trauma everybody was in. It was just awful. Okay. And we'll bring this back over. Let's see here. How many do I have of this one? 2 of that. Okay. I need to have a couple more of these. Get it right up here, if I can. You know, you want to be prepared for everything in this life, but we're not. There are things that happen from day to day, and I honestly believe that it's how we get through those things. That's so important to our health, our mental health, our state of well-being, and yes, it was awful. Yes, it was sad, and we all cried. But we leaned on Jesus for our support. He is truly our strength. He's our strength. I honestly and truthfully do not know how people who don't know Jesus get through things. It's just, it's hard enough to. I'm moving my birds over. Let me show you what I've got so far. Isn't that a pretty print? So pretty. I just love that tree look. So it looks like the sky and then some bare branches. All right, so I did that one. Let's do, I think I've got 2 of those. So I'm going to come here. Just get up there as far as I can go. Anyway, that's the way we get through things. We hold on to the hand of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. That's for sure. Oops. Tip that one a little bit. Okay. It was very strange, though. At that point in time, I worked at a bank. And the very same day that David was killed in that airplane crash, the president of the bank, his son, was also killed in a small plane crash. Oh, it was just crazy. Crazy, crazy. Oh, okay, let's see here. That's too big for that area. Bring this one in here, maybe? Yeah. When the dogs went out this morning with Dan outside for the first time, they kind of played in the snow a little bit, he said. But when they came in, they were revved up. They ran all over the place. Little paws were so cold. And then they climbed up on my husband's lap and sat on his lap for most of the morning. That's my husband's favorite time of day, just to sit in the recliner with the puppies. Just loves that. And drink coffee. Have his yogurt for breakfast. So, we both wish that he would have had the surgery sooner now. But as long as it's set, he doesn't want to change it. You know, sometimes the sooner the better for things. And yes, definitely have been praying for healing as well. Okay, this is just a tiny area. I wonder if this little guy can fit. Can I make him fit? Let me see if I can make him fit. No, that's not going to fit. Bring it up further here. This is where I'm trying to get... Oh, I might be able to. I might just barely be able to get a bird there. Maybe. I'm trying here. Sometimes it's a real squeeze, but we may have made it this time. Let's see. Push it with my hands. How about that? Yep. Okay. Let's see. There's just a lot of smoothing you have to do here and there, but it works. Okay. Those are so cute. Okay, let me see. Trying to count how many different birds we have here. Got that one and that one. Those 2. Okay. 1, 2 of those. I really like this little birdie, so let me try to get it in here. Oh, there's Bella. Hi, Bella. Hi, Bella. You getting the ball? Huh? Is Grandpa throwing the ball downstairs for you? I think Grandpa needs a break from the puppies once in a while. So he throws the toys down here. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Okay. I think this shape is my favorite, this little one. I like him. Or her. I'm not sure if it's a him or a her or what, but anyway, I like it. Now, I can't seem to get way down in here. So I'm going to use one of my little rubber tools and just kind of smooth that in a little bit. Sometimes if you just tap it. Okay, that's good. All right. To tell you a story. It's funny. When I was, oh gosh, I think junior high. Well, back then we called it junior high. Wipe some of this off here. And it had snowed. And we knew to take snow clothes with us when we went to school. And of course we would put jeans under our dresses because you had to wear dresses to school. Oofta. And I had this really good friend who lived about 5 blocks. We'd get to our house. She'd warm up there, and then she'd walk 5 more blocks to her house. You know, back then you could walk home and not be afraid of somebody coming by and picking you up, basically. But we had the best time. She was my best friend back then, at that time in my life. And her name was Corky. Her real name was Corrine, but everybody called her Corky, so I called her Corky too. And we would get to laughing so hard. I can't even tell you how hard we laughed. It was hilarious. I'm trying to count how many birdies of each kind I have. So I'm a little distracted here. Just a second. There's 1, 2, 3 of that. 3 of the bitty little one. And 1, 2, 3 of that. Oh, I see. I need one more of that one and that one. Okay. So we were walking home, and and we got to laughing so hard. I mean, wet your pants hard. And sure enough, Corky kept saying, I have to go potty, I have to go potty, I have to go potty. And we were about a block from my house, so we weren't close enough for her, evidently. She sat on the top of a snowbank and wet her pants. And we could not stop laughing. Of course, that made us laugh all the more. And I don't remember if she continued home on her way home that day or if she came in and we got her some clothes. I can't remember. But it was absolutely hilarious. You know, one of those wonderful laughs that you have when you just can't stop laughing and you're crying, laughing. Oh, gosh, we laughed. We laughed at so many things. And then she had to move. We lived in a town in South Dakota called Aberdeen, but she moved to a town in South Dakota called Pierre. And that's where she graduated from high school. And then went on to nursing school, but she just was so fun. We had so much fun. I think I'm going to cut this off of here, put this up here. Let's see, what can I fit down in here? This is my favorite, so I'm going to bring it in. And she had an older brother. And of course I fell in love with the older brother. He didn't fall in love with me, but I fell in love with him. He was 2 years, maybe a year or 2 years older than I was. So it was always fun to go over to her house. Oh, one time we walked in the back door after we came home from school, and her mom and dad were there, and they had something on the table, and they were taking a piece of it off and putting it on crackers, and they offered me some. And I just said, no, thank you, I wasn't hungry. And then I found out afterwards it was cow's tongue. Yeah, cow's tongue. And then they had me look at it closer, and you could see the little bumps on the tongue. No, thank you. But they used it as kind of like a little cracker spread or sandwich spread or something. Wasn't my cup of tea. All right, I think I have just about enough room to make another one. Let's see if I can. Squeeze one more in carefully. I think so anyway. I think I'm close. Push it down. Okay. Her mom was so fun. Oh my gosh, she was fun. We'd sit at the table after school and have her after school treat, and she would tell us things and stories. She was such a sweet lady. And we would laugh our heads off with her. That's, I'm sure, where Corky got her sense of humor too. We just, I was so sad when they moved. So sad. And after she moved, then I got another really good friend. And her name was Marcia. And I'm still friends with both of those gals today. One still lives in Aberdeen. And the other one lives in San Antonio, Texas. Corky lives in San Antonio, Texas. And she did become a nurse. And anyway, you know, old friends who you have history with. Oh, don't you just love that? There you go. Now look at that. Isn't that kind of cool? Now, I wanted to just mention something here. I'm going to, I think I'll take that off there. And maybe some off from right there. Okay, put that aside. Now, do you notice the negative areas here? You know what you could do? Which would be, I think I'm going to try it. I haven't done it before. But you could take this and put it on top of a different piece of clay. And then you could cut around that if you wanted to. I don't know. But all of those are connected if I can be very careful here. We'll see what happens. Not sure how I'd use it, but there. Okay, that's all connected. Oh, let me see. What do I want to do? I've got this ready. This will go into the oven at 275 for an hour. And then when they come out, I will finish them. I keep remembering. I've done that before, and they fly off. They're not stuck on there, or that piece of paper isn't stuck on there. So I will set my cute little birdies aside for now. And let's see. I'm going to try to think of another piece of clay and what I might get out for that. Be right back. All right, I just decided I would bring this clay all together that I had left over from this project. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause this because I'm going to roll it out. And then, yes, it will have some blue in it. But I'm not sure how much you're going to see it when I roll it out. We'll see. And then I might use another stamp on it. And I'm thinking green. So we'll see. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Here is the piece of clay, and it's got lots of bubbles, air bubbles in it. Usually I poke every single one, and then I run it again through the pasta machine. But I'm not going to this time because I'm going to use another texture sheet. And yeah, that's going to fit for that, and we'll see. This is a trial and error. So bear with me here. I'm going to turn that this way. Now, I think what I'll do is hold on a minute. Okay, I picked out this. This looks kind of woodsy too, and I used it for green before, so I'm going to use it for green again. I did not clean this one off. So let's just see what we get. This is just we're just trying something new anyway. So, and I picked this Archival Ink Leaf Green. It says Leaf Green. And this is what it kind of looks like. I don't know, it's kind of dark. But I don't think it'll show up dark on, let's see here. Well, let me see if I can just do this a little bit, if that helps. I'm not sure if this is one of my newer ones or my older ones. The older ones don't like to give you as much ink as the new ones. Obviously, there's a reason for that. You got to re-ink them sometimes. And I apologize for Bella in the background. She can be a barky one sometimes. All right, let's just try to get this on. And you know, some of this you just aren't going to be able to see because there was some green on here before. So I'm just kind of pounding on it over here to the side of my workboard or work glass. And we'll see. And I rolled my sheet that will go underneath that out to a 3. It's just the clay I had left over from my project over here. It's always good to try to find something to do with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. So we will give it a try and see what happens. I don't know. After this step, I'm not sure I'm going to do. So hang in there. This is what I do when I'm not on camera. I just play, and when things work, they work. When they don't, they don't. I go on to the next thing. And it's just kind of fun to try anyway. I want to make sure, though, that this green is getting on there in places. I think you can kind of see it. Let's see, I'll bring my light over here a little bit more. There we go. Okay. This is just trial and error. Okay. Go over here, cover up my ink, turn it upside down again. And set my stamp there. And, oh, it's even more blue on the back. I'm just going to lay it just like that. And put this over this. You know what I think I'll do, as long as this is sticking out, I'm just going to take it off so it doesn't bother me so much. Put it up there. Okay. And let's see. We'll see if we pick up much green or not. Whatever. If we don't pick up much color, I'm not going to finish the project. If we do pick up color, I'll just try something with it. So here we go. Okay. My my other friend Marcia, from my growing up years, she was such a artist. Oh my! And we could tell that way back in high school and everything. And she would sew. She could sew. Oh, she was amazing. And she ended up eventually moving to Minneapolis, but she's back in Aberdeen again. She moved to Minneapolis, and she had a business of her own that did it. She had several of these professional sewing machines, and then she hired people to come into her home, and she had a place set up where they would, I think, embroider special things for the sports teams and people, and so anyway, pretty impressive. Let's just see how this works. Oh, okay. Some of it's coming off. I took my gloves off, so here we go. Some is okay, some is not so okay. You see that? I'm not real. Yeah, let's just try it anyway. Boy, you can hardly see that, can you? I'm going to bring it up here. See, it's very light. It is very light. And I think if I bring this over, you can't see it very well at all. So, there you go. So, I'll bring this back over. And since it's just a trial and error thing, I'm going to just put this on here. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to cut one of these off of here, but I don't want to disturb the rest of the sheet. So let's just pull that off. this off. Let's see what we can do here. That's a very light color. Yeah, I don't like it. I do not like that. Okay, now, so I don't like it. So what am I going to do? Now there are raised areas. If I go over very, very lightly, they will probably turn green too. Let me see. I'm just going to try and see what happens. It's just fun to try things. It's more fun when they work than when they don't work. So I'm just going to kind of go. Well, some green's coming off. So there's going to be more green on here than I had anticipated. And you're not going to get any really white areas, but that's all right, I guess. We'll see. I'm not pressing hard because I don't want to lose the texture on here. You can see, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little blue coming through. But birdies aren't all one color, really, you know, so. Good excuse, right? Oh, I went and had my teeth cleaned yesterday. Ever since we moved here, I've been going to the same dentist. She's just a doll. She's such a sweet gal. But when I moved here, I had not been to the dentist for quite a while, and I had the old fillings from, years ago? I'm 72, so when I was a kid growing up, they had mercury in the fillings, which is horrible. And she said so many of mine were loose and leaking. They were leaking, and so I was getting all kinds of. I had to get several crowns, and I had some root canals too. So I had quite a process when I first moved down here. And don't ask me why I didn't keep up my going to the dentist, other than I hate that. It always made me so nervous. I don't know why. They never hurt me. I just hated the noise when they drilled and stuff like that. But honestly didn't mind the shot of Novocaine at all. That didn't bother me. But the noise did, I guess. So anyway, I went and had them cleaned yesterday, and all the work she's done over these last, or over the first several years that I was here, a couple years actually, is good. I mean, everything's good. I go every 6 months, and I have ever since I've been going to her, but everything looks really good. I have one quite crooked tooth in the front on my top layer of teeth. That's always made me very self-conscious. I had Invisalign braces for a few years as an adult, but then when I moved down here, I got those before I moved to Kansas. I had them in South Dakota. And then when I moved down here, I was still wearing my retainer and everything was good. And my tooth was straight. But teeth have a memory. Did you know that? Teeth have a memory. Anyway, when I got down here and I had all that work done on my teeth, it didn't fit my teeth anymore. And they made another one for me. But it wasn't strong enough. It didn't hold that tooth in place. And so my tooth moved back. Now I've got a cavity in the tooth that's crooked, and it's hard to get to, but it has barely started, so she hasn't suggested filling it or pulling it or anything else like that yet. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, now that's quite green. I'm thinking at one time or another they're going to have to pull that tooth. Let's see, do I want to go this way? I might go that way. Okay. Now you ask, what am I going to do with it? Well, good question. just thought I'd try this. Okay. What do I want to do? I think okay, I'm thinking. I think what I'm going to do is cut out. What I might do is just cut out around them. You know, like I did with these, but I'm not going to bore you and do that whole thing on video. But I think that is what I'm going to do. Just take this off. Okay. There we go. But what I will show you is how I want to make sure I have a border of the bird there. So, is this one on? Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm just going to very carefully cut around each one. I hope very carefully. We'll see. We'll see. This particular cutter is not that sharp. I think I better get my other one that's a little bit sharper. Okay, so that's that. I'll just cut the one for the moment and put this aside. And I have this little cutter that it can fit on your finger like this, but that is so odd to use like that. So what I end up doing, because it's a little sharper, is just holding it in my hand. And what I'm going to try to do, and hopefully you can see this a little bit, and I'll just do it with this one, is come around. Of course, then I have to smooth the edges too, as much as possible. But then that I can do that after. Let's see here. Hold that in so it doesn't move so much. I can sand it off after it bakes too. And when I put resin on, this will be like a little well of resin. So we'll see. We shall see how this works. Anyway, with the teeth, I honestly think they'll probably have to get to it, because they can't get to it easily, because there's another tooth kind of blocking it. I wouldn't doubt that they'll have to pull it someday. Oh, that's one way to get rid of a crooked tooth, huh? When I was a little girl, and my mom took me to the dentist, you know, to get my teeth cleaned, etc., etc. And he was not an orthodontist, but she had, my regular dentist suggested I get braces. And so I did have braces, but only on the top teeth. And why he only wanted to do the top teeth, I don't know. But he offered to try it on me. Try it, quote unquote, try it. So he was not trained to put braces on. But my mom said, yeah, let's try it. So I had just top braces on for a while. They didn't pull any teeth or anything like they do. There we go. That's not so bad, is it, guys? Okay, then you can do the back. But as you can see, it's very rough around the edges, so I'm going to have to, unless I can smooth some of it. But sometimes, this is so delicate, sometimes you misshape your piece if you try to do it. But this is, because this clay is soft, kind of hesitating to do it. And I might just go around it, but it's not too bad, actually. Let me show you. Not so bad, is it? Do you think? Well, we'll see. We'll see how they turn out once I have them all baked and done. Okay, well, that's unique, isn't it? And I'll cut all the other ones out of here and do the very same thing. Cut around them, and then I'll bake those too. And then I won't waste so much clay. All right, so that's that. What was I going to show you? I was going to show you something else. Oh, I know. I had made a short video on these too, but I just love this little bird. This bird is a clear bird that you stamp, and then I put, isn't that pretty? I just love these. Yeah, I think he's my favorite bird. Anyway, I had ordered some rhinestones, and hopefully you can tell that they kind of shine. So I've got rhinestones that I can do some things with. In fact, I might do that. Put a little eye in here. I might do that. That'd be pretty. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that. And this little bird I had from, I don't know. It was in my mixture of clear stamps back there, but when I saw it, I thought, oh, I love that. And he'll make a cute little purse charm or a cute little necklace or, so many different things, whatever you want to use it for. But I still have to, I could finish the back, and I probably will. I'll put a coat of blue glitter resin on the back probably. But anyway, that's that. And I think you saw these. Mr. and Mrs. Valentine. On this one, the resin that I put on the back here, I thought I had cleaned it all off, and I did, but I think it just decided it was going to continue to run, and it got on the side of the bow tie. But that's all right, because it's just for my husband and I, for our anniversary, just so he doesn't hear it. Do you like my earrings, my pearl earrings and pearl necklace? kind of a... They were fun to do. These are real glass eyes. Can you tell that their eyes are glass? Anyway, I like those. I'm going to make beaded holders for them. So this one will be pink. This one will be blue. And he doesn't know about this yet either. This is kind of a... This is a little gnome. It's got a heart. It says D and J. But there's another little thing that I made. And then I also have a order coming. I ordered him a t-shirt and shorts and some new tennis shoes, but don't tell him. He was just talking about that, so anyway, some surprises for him coming up. Okay, that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being tolerant of my playtime. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.